I want to thank everyone from the media who are here today. I want to thank my colleagues in both the Senate and the Assembly Republican conferences. And of course, I want to thank my good friend, Leader Will Barkley, leader of the Assembly Republican Conference. Of course, my deputy, Senator Andrew Lanza, as well as all the other members who are here today. Some of them, Jared Gandolfo, who I know we're going to hear from today. I'll let Senator Lanza and Assemblyman Gandolfo talk about the renaming of their legislation and the poignant moment. They introduced this legislation a couple weeks ago. We talked about this, and here we are with a crystal clear example of why we need this bill. So Laken Riley, which you're all familiar with by now, and millions of Americans, as well as New Yorkers and Georgians, are aware of Laken Riley, a young woman who was killed while out running by an illegal alien who is now thankfully in custody. Ironically, he was in custody right here in New York before the murder. I believe weeks before the murder, maybe months before the murder. He was taken into custody by the New York Police Department. But because of New York laws, because of New York sanctuary state laws, local law enforcement do not notify federal immigration officials when they take someone into custody, even if they're here, especially when they're here illegally. So Laken Riley's murderer, albeit alleged murderer, was in custody, in law enforcement custody, and he was released without notification to ICE, to federal authorities, because of policies and laws passed by Democrats here in New York State. It really is that simple. I know there's an attempt by folks in the media, no one here, of course. There's an attempt by people online. There's an attempt by a lot of folks to overcomplicate this issue. That is obfuscation. That is a direct attempt, or it's somebody who just doesn't understand the thread. This has nothing to do with federal immigration law even. You have someone in this state here illegally. New York State has laws that protect these individuals even after they commit another crime against the citizens of New York State. And this is what happens when you do that. Because you're not just protecting someone here illegally, quite frankly, you're protecting a criminal because they break another law. Sometimes they break multiple laws, but we know our colleagues in the Democratic Conference, including Governor Hochul, they love nothing more. They are obsessed with protecting criminals. And I could rattle off bill after bill, law after law that protects those who have harmed, assaulted, robbed, threatened, beat. That's what we do here in New York. That's the problem we're solving. We're creating more victims, bail, discovery, less is more, clean slate. All these things have created numerous victims in New York, and now we're creating victims in Georgia. And the law that my colleagues are here to talk about, and that Will Barkley will talk about now, if this was in place, Laken Riley would be alive today. It's not an opinion. It's not what I think. I'm not extrapolating. It's a fact. If this was the law of the state of New York, she'd be alive today. Her family would have a daughter today. And Governor Hochul and the majority leader in the Senate and the Speaker in the Assembly should take heed. Even Mayor Adams, he's starting to sing a different tune, isn't he? It's high time a law like this gets the attention it deserves, passes through both houses, is signed by the governor. We need to get real about these laws that we're passing, the sanctuary state policies here in the state of New York and in the city of New York.